Mass layoffs at China's 58.com, nearly 10,000 people impacted. Xi Jinping rejects street vendor economy in Beijing, putting a damper on Li Chang's plans. Jujang Provinces' pioneering move to abolish rural management raises concerns over escalating grassroots conflicts and political stability. Chinese company's stock price plunges following Swiss listing, analysts attribute it to investor pessimism. Severe sandstorm strikes Inner Mongolia as 14th round hits, massive sand wall obscures the sun. It's all covered in today's China Truths. Mass layoffs at China's 58.com, nearly 10,000 people impacted. Due to the slowdown of the economy, China's unemployment rate is increasingly high, especially among young people, with a rate exceeding 20%. Many companies not only refrain from hiring new employees but also engage in widespread layoffs. Recently, a well-known national classifieds website in China, 58.com, was exposed for implementing a significant downsizing, affecting nearly 10,000 people. On May 18, the first financial report in mainland China stated that the company has close to 30,000 employees, and if we estimate based on a 30% layoff ratio, this round of layoffs may affect nearly 10,000 people. There were also online disclosures from netizens indicating that a department generating daily revenues of up to 2 to 3 million yuan experienced a layoff rate exceeding 60%, with some departments even reaching 80%. Currently, there has been no official response from 58.com, but today, the topic of layoffs has become the top trending topic on the Chinese social platform MyMai. According to public information, 58.com is a classified information service platform in mainland China. It was established in 2005 and is headquartered in Beijing, with 27 direct sales branches nationwide. As stated on its official website, as of December 31, 2022, 58.com had registered users reaching 730 million and monthly active users reaching 380 million, covering 31 provinces, municipalities, and over 400 cities nationwide. Its business covers various sectors, including second-hand trading, real estate, recruitment, and lifestyle services. At the end of October 2013, 58.com was listed on the New York Stock Exchange. Within 18 months of going public, 58.com made as many as 14 investments and acquisitions. In September 2020, the platform announced its completion of privatization and delisted from the NYSE. Regarding the layoffs at 58.com, many netizens believe that it was somewhat expected. In recent years, there has been an abundance of false information on this platform, whether it's related to recruitment, renting, or second-hand transactions, with a large number of fraudulent listings. Many people have been deceived by 58.com. On the mainland's platform Weibo, many netizens expressed their feelings, stating, "It feels like a gathering place for scammers. When will these fraudulent companies shut down, and they must go out of business, these scamming companies?" Xi Jinping rejects street vendor economy in Beijing, putting a damper on Li Chang's plans. The heat of the barbecue in Zibo, Shandong Province, has not yet dissipated, but recently there has been news that the highest authorities in Beijing seem to have a negative view of street vendors. On May 10, Xi Jinping led a group of officials, including Premier Li Chang and 3 members of the Political Bureau Standing Committee, to inspect the Xiong'an area. On May 14, Xinhua News Agency published a lengthy article detailing the situation at that time. When discussing Beijing's positioning, Xi Jinping stated that the capital is first and foremost a political center, not a melting pot, and cannot have factories in the hutongs or engage in the street vendor economy. Hutong is the term used to describe the narrow, traditional alleyways or lanes that are commonly found in older neighborhoods of Beijing and other Chinese cities. Hutongs hold significant cultural and historical value, representing the communal way of life and historical heritage of China. In the second half of the 20th century, a significant number of Beijing's hutongs were demolished to facilitate the construction of new roads and buildings. Nevertheless, in recent years, there has been a notable shift towards protecting these hutongs as a means of preserving an essential aspect of Chinese cultural history. Some analysts believe that, although he was referring to Beijing, it was essentially pouring cold water on the street vendor economy. Political commentator Chen Pokong said, Li Chang is Xi Jinping's trusted confidant. When he became premier, everyone thought that Li Chang had started promoting the street vendor economy, and Xi Jinping should have agreed. So when he said these words in front of Li Chang, it was like giving him a reprimand. However, Xi Jinping's statement is clearly unrealistic. A city can only complement each other when multiple economic models coexist. However, some analysts believe that Xi Jinping's remarks were specific to the context of Beijing and may not have universal applicability to other regions of the country. China affairs expert Wang Yi said, Xi Jinping's comments in specific situations regarding specific issues do not have generality, nor do they imply opposition to the street stall economy as a whole. What is Beijing's positioning? It is a political center, cultural center, international communication center, and technological innovation center. Consequently, there is no need for a large population engaged in low-end activities, and Xi Jinping strongly disapproves of the street stall economy in Beijing. Beijing-based senior media personality Gao Yu, as well as an anonymous lawyer in Beijing, both informed Epoch Times reporters on May 17 that they haven't seen street vending in Beijing. Mr. Zhang, a resident of the outskirts of Beijing, also disclosed to Epoch Times that street vending is currently allowed in the suburbs of Beijing, but not in the city center. In 2020, Beijing strengthened its crackdown on illegal street vending, citing its negative impact on the capital's image. Earlier this year, there were indications of a potential relaxation of regulations on street vending. However, it seems that at least in Beijing, the street stall economy will not go too far. Jujang Provinces' pioneering move to abolish rural management raises concerns over escalating grassroots conflicts and political stability. In recent times, there has been a sudden surge in the return to farming and forestry movement by the Chinese Communist Party, CCP. Simultaneously, the term rural management has gained popularity in China. People compare them to urban management officers, calling them rural managers. These individuals are equipped with violent tools and wreak havoc on the trees and crops cultivated by farmers. They cut down trees, destroy crops, prohibit farmers from growing vegetables in front of their houses, prohibit chicken and duck farming in villages, prohibit farmers from sun-drying their bedding, and impose various requirements such as land cultivation permits. These acts of violence have sparked widespread public grievances. In recent months, there have been 3 incidents in northern and northeastern China where village cadres were fatally attacked by local residents. These incidents have resulted in the devastating loss of 18 lives and 1 injury. On May 18, the CCP's General Information Platform, Today's Tushio, published news that Jujang Province was the first to cancel the rural management system due to intense resistance from rural areas. According to analysis from external sources, it is certain that more provinces will abolish the rural management system in the near future. Some people are calling for farmers in other provinces to learn from Jujang, emphasizing that resistance is the path to freedom. In an uncommon occurrence, Xinhua News reported that the CCP recently organized a video training session called the National Training Program for Village Party Organizational Secretaries and Village Committee Directors. This marks the first direct training provided by the party to village cadres nationwide, and it is the largest program of its kind for rural grassroots cadres in recent years. Regarding this, political and economic analyst Luo Tianming, currently residing in the United States, told the Epoch Times on May 18 that the current conflicts in China are concentrated in rural areas, and the contradictions within these regions have escalated to an extremely serious level. Luo Tianming also mentioned that China is facing an increasingly severe food crisis. During the forced implementation of the retreat from forests and return to farming process, there is a serious problem of mafia-style behavior among grassroots personnel, including village cadres and rural management staff. They disregard the law and reason, arousing great public resentment and exacerbating conflicts, leading to even greater instability factors. Now these issues have seriously endangered the stability of the Communist Party's regime, causing great concern among the top leadership. The Communist Party has convened national training sessions for village cadres, urging them to appease the farmers to avoid further escalation of conflicts. Commentator Li Yanming also pointed out that the grassroots political power of the Communist Party has long been infiltrated by mafia-like elements, and the actions of rural management have further fueled public discontent. China is plagued by various issues in rural areas, including the food crisis, population crisis, unemployment crisis, and economic crisis, all interconnected and fueling deeper social and political crises. The foundation of the Communist Party's autocratic rule is crumbling. Chinese company's stock price plunges following Swiss listing, analysts attribute it to investor pessimism. As tensions continue to rise between the US and China, Switzerland has become a new target for Chinese companies seeking overseas listings. According to the Wall Street Journal, since last year, a total of 13 Chinese companies have issued global depository receipts in Switzerland, raising a cumulative financing of $4.3 billion. However, most of these companies have experienced significant stock price declines and low trading volumes after listing on the Swiss stock exchange. Economist David Huang, based in the United States, stated on May 18 that global depository receipts, GDRs, issued by Chinese companies in Switzerland can be converted into corresponding A-shares in the domestic market, which has raised concerns among investors. Huang explained that after 120 days, GDR stocks purchased will convert back to Chinese A-shares. Overseas investors are not interested in holding Chinese A-shares, as these companies are not seen as international, and concerns are amplified by Chinese state-owned banks being underwriters. Huang also attributed the decline in overseas investments in Chinese companies to worsening relations between the CCP and Western countries. Investors worry that if China's relationships with Europe and the United States deteriorate, their investments in China may be affected, leading to a significant decline in investments. According to 2021 statistics, the Swiss stock market ranks 6th globally in terms of market capitalization, but its market capacity is not large. Huang analyzed that some Chinese companies listing in Switzerland may be aiming to attract domestic investors. Huang said, "Their main purpose is to deceive the Chinese people, saying, 'Look, we are investing in Switzerland.' Because Switzerland is highly regarded in the minds of ordinary Chinese as a noble financial hub. However, it is actually a small market." Severe sandstorm strikes Inner Mongolia as 14th round hits, massive sand wall obscures the sun. According to reports from mainland media, on May 18 at 16:43, a severe sandstorm hit Siwusu Airport in Iranhat City, Inner Mongolia, with instant wind speeds reaching up to 27 meters per second and visibility dropping to only 150 meters. The scene was engulfed in yellow sand, forming a giant sand wall in the area. Videos circulating online show the entire sky obscured by sand, with swirling yellow sand filling the vicinity of the airport. Staff at the wind power plant in Iranhat City stated that the sandstorm caused the wind turbines to activate their automatic protection systems and stop operating. Around 1800 hours on the 18th, airport staff at Siwusu Airport announced that flights had been cancelled due to weather conditions. Mainland netizens commented, "There have been so many sandstorms this year. I'm in Iranhat, and it's all yellow sand everywhere. Furious sandstorm. So scary. Extreme weather is increasing, we need to accelerate afforestation and carbon reduction." Some people sarcastically remarked, "Build more buildings and destroy forests and farmland." According to the website of the China Meteorological Administration, from the 19th to the 20th, there will be strong winds, cooling temperatures, and sandstorm weather in eastern Xinjiang, southern Xinjiang, eastern northwest China, Inner Mongolia, northeastern China, North China, and other regions. Don't forget to comment in the section below to share your opinions on today's topic with us. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more interesting topics from China Truths.